Hello and good morning, everybody in Facebook. It's Melissa Nature, and I am here on Monday to bring you another little tidbit of information of things that I have learned along the way, either through training. I've spent a lot of money on training. I'm a network professional. I always say that, network marketing professional. I always skip the middle. And I've learned a lot of stuff. And over the 4 years that I've been involved, I like to bring you some little nuggets here on Facebook, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, from right here in my kitchen. First, before we get started, I want to say my thoughts are with everyone dealing with the hurricanes right now. First Harvey, now Irma, over in Florida and the states that are north where the storm is moving. I also want to say, that my thoughts are with everyone who has lost anyone or who was affected by September 11th, 16 years ago. Just so that everyone knows, I'm thinking of everyone out there today. And as I said, I'm a network marketing professional. My name is Melissa Nager. If you've never seen me before, if you are joining me live, please press 1 in the comments. If you're catching the replay, press 2, and feel free to tell me where you're watching from, city and state, so I can give you a shout out. So today, what we are going to be talking about, you guys, is what people are really saying when they tell you they don't have the money or they can't afford to join you or buy your item. And most of the time, very, very low percentage of people truly don't have the money. Usually people do have it somewhere or can find it if they find value in what you're offering. So most of the time when you hear, I don't have the money or I can't afford to join you, they're really saying something else. And this can go across any kind of business, whether you're a salesperson, a car salesman, in real estate, also in network marketing. This can apply to all different types of industries. So I'm going to talk about that. And there are 6 things specifically that I'm going to talk about. Hey, Daryl, I see you joining us from Phoenix. Probably a lot warmer there than in Michigan today. Starting to turn to fall here. So 99% of the time when you hear people tell you this, they're lying. And maybe they're not doing it intentionally. Maybe they are doing it intentionally. But we're going to talk about 6 different things that they could mean when they're telling you, I can't afford it. So number one thing that we're going to talk about is a lot of times when people say, I can't afford to join you or I can't purchase your thing, they are really saying, I feel undeserving. And what I mean by that is, they could be saying, I have bought 4 to 6 things like yours, or I have joined 4 to 6 things like yours, and so far none of them, I have not done anything with any of them. I have not done shit since I bought such and such 4 times. I have not done anything, and I joined this business 4 times. So what they're really saying is they are undeserving, and they're totally disillusioned, and blaming themselves for the purchase, feeling guilty, and sorry, my eyes are like, I don't know what's going on this morning. I think it's the allergies season. But they already feel like a failure because they have done this or bought this 4 to 6 times, and they're basically feeling like they would be doing nothing again. So they're feeling undeserving. That's number one. That can happen a lot of times. You hear of people, they didn't have support. They might have joined a business, didn't have support. They might have joined a business, and I'll talk about this later, and they didn't do anything with it. So they already feel like a failure. So we're going to talk about that in a later item on the list. So let's talk about the second way they might be relating that as I can't afford it or I don't have the money. Number 2 can be my spouse is totally sick of my spending online and on frivolous things, and I am not willing to risk your item or your product or your opportunity to have issues with my spouse. That happens a lot, you guys. These are all things you need to consider when you're hearing these, and it could be any of these things that we're going to talk about. But you have to remember that they're saying a lot more than just I can't afford it or I don't have the money. So number 3, they could be saying the last 3 things that are like yours, or the last 3 opportunities that I decided to take a part in didn't come close to even meeting my expectations at all. I don't trust them. I don't trust you. I don't trust this network marketing industry. It sounds exciting, but when I join or I buy from you, I'm going to be disappointed. I already know, so I should know better, and I'm not even going there. That's a pretty loaded one, but a lot of times this can be the case. They didn't do anything. They bought the item, and I'm guilty of this too, you guys. I don't know about you, but I've seen on like Shop at Home Network and things like that. I've bought, here's a really good example of something I bought. I got totally sold, and I'm usually really good about this, but I got totally scammed, not scammed, but sold, I guess. Everybody has a price and everyone has a value in something. So I went to the mall. I was on my way to take a trip out to Las Vegas. And I went to the mall before I left. I had to pick up some things. I had to get like pantyhose and things like that. I had something I had to dress up for. And I'm going through the mall, and I don't know if you've seen my cray hair, but I have extremely curly hair, extremely curly, like I just got a perm. So I'm walking through the mall, and all of a sudden this guy stops me that has a little kiosk thing at the mall, and it's an amazing ceramic plated hair straightener. And he's like, whoa, he stops me. I mean, I'm like hurriedly running, not running, but basically speed walking through the mall. And he stops me and he's like, let me come here a second. And I'm like, stop. And I'm like, what is going on here? So he takes this curling iron, or this flattening iron. It's a flattening iron actually, with these ceramic plates. And he takes this one piece of my hair and he does this. And it's miraculously, amazingly, perfectly straight, which is crazy to me because like it takes me hours to straighten my hair. So I'm like, holy crap, he just blew my mind, right? So long story short, I buy this thing. It's like $150, whatever. And my husband is probably going to kill me. Whatever. I plead with him. I buy it anyway. So I got home. You guys, this was probably 2 years ago. I've used this thing twice in the last 2 years. So needless to say, I probably have a bad taste in my mouth, and I'm not going to buy any straighteners or anything like that again on a whim, because I've learned my lesson. I bought it, didn't use it, which is nobody's fault but my own, and now I'm not going to buy those things again. So that's a good way to relate it. And that was like $150. So let's move on. The number 4 thing they could be saying is, my job, my life, my marriage sucks. I'm up to my eyeballs in credit card debt, which we all know as home business people could be a very good reason to get into a home business. But some people are saying, I need some convenience in my life. I cannot afford to have any little inconveniences. I will have to actually do something if I join you or if I buy this. And no thanks, I'm just not willing to do that. So they're just not willing to admit that they're not willing to work if it's a business, and they're not willing to admit that they're not going to use it. I don't know why, but a lot of people don't feel comfortable talking to strangers or people they know even and saying, I know I'm not going to use it. I don't know why people can't just tell the truth. But this is a lot of times what they're saying when they say, I can't afford this or I don't have the money. Another valid reason, long explanation of a reason they might be telling you no, is there's other things going on in their life. I'm about to lose my job. I'm about to get divorced. I drink too much. I have a drug problem. I mean, these are real reasons, you guys. People face these things every day. So you have to consider this when you're talking to people. And it's more important to me to hold on to my money than to give it to you or to join or buy this. And I'm afraid. So it could be fear motivated. And the last thing sometimes people are trying to tell you without telling you straight out is, I don't need your thing. I don't need or want your opportunity. And I don't need to justify it. And instead of telling you the truth, I'm going to tell this little white lie that I can't afford or I don't have the money because it seems more socially justifiable and okay. So it could be something simple as that they're just saying, I don't want to lie. I mean, I don't want to tell you the truth. I can lie if I want to, and that's perfectly acceptable. So a lot of times they're saying all of those types of things when you're hearing, I don't want, I can't afford it, or I don't have the money. If they really can't afford it, a lot of times if they're interested in what you're offering, they will either save wait for their tax refunds, save up money. They'll find a way. They'll split it with a friend. They will sell something. They will stop spending on miscellaneous things like going out to dinner and stuff for a while. They will do something to find a way to join you or buy your product if they really, really want to. And here's the big thing, guys. What should you do? What should you do when you hear this from someone and you know you feel it really strongly that they could really use your opportunity or your product, but they are not ready, or they are telling you these lies because they're not finding value in what you're offering? What should you do? Nothing. It isn't about the cost, it's about value. So at this point, if someone is not seeing the value in what you're offering, there's nothing you can do to change that. You can talk till you're blue in the face, and you can, say it over and over again, but then at that point, you're convincing. And really, honestly, as network marketing professionals, or as, an honest person in the sales industry at all, you should not be convincing people. People should be already convinced. They should be able to see the value in what you have to offer. So it's not about money, guys. It's about value. Don't be mad. Usually the reason the people aren't buying, and the real reason is it isn't the real reason. It's not because they don't have money, and it's not because they can't afford it. It's because they're not seeing the value in what you have to offer. They might not trust, they might not believe, they might not have done anything in the past. They may have had a bad taste in their mouth about something, like me with my little straight so you can't really do anything to change that. All you can do is show them, be proof. You're going to have to build trust. They're going to watch, they're going to want to see what you're doing more, etc. There's nothing you can do. So I hope that helps you a little bit. A lot of people get really peed off because they hear I can't afford it all the time. And that's not really what's happening. It's not the real reason people aren't joining and people aren't seeing what you have to offer as something they need in their lives. It's up to you to educate and build trust and things like that in relationships. And be proof. Just to show them that what you're offering is legitimate, or your product works. And hopefully that will go further than constantly asking people, can you afford it, or trying to convince them. So I hope that this helped somebody out there. If you're struggling with that kind of an objection on a regular basis, feel free to share this with your teams, tag people, share it with your friends, share it on your timeline, whatever you like. And since it's Monday, guys, I will see you tomorrow. I'll see you Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week, right here at 10 a.m. in my kitchen. And we'll have a new little tidbit of info to talk about tomorrow. So again, you guys, if you caught me on live, press 1. If you are catching the replay, press 2, and tell me where your city and state is so I can give you a shout out. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.